which can detect and intercept the impulses in your nerves, the signals from when your brain is telling, for example, what your fingers, what they should be doing, and translate those signals to the corresponding actions in a virtual space. Or in other words, you will be able to send a message to someone by just thinking about moving your fingers. You won't even need to physically move them. And this metaverse hardware, it's not as far off as you think. Fun fact, next year, Meta is coming out with a headset, currently being codenamed Project Cambria, which in one fell swoop will apparently solve two of the biggest current barriers to the metaverse. One, that it will be comfortable enough, and the display will be sufficiently close to the resolution of your eyes that you won't feel like you're wearing a headset. And two, it'll be able to track your facial expressions in real time. Which, if pulled off correctly, will mean you'll be able to have conversations with realistic body language in a virtual space. So, these are the obvious benefits from the metaverse: experiences, expression, teleportation, knowledge, and productivity. But there's also a couple of potentially unexpected ones, like the environment. See, producing real products is really inefficient. The production of a real car, for example, can quite easily result in 20 tons of carbon dioxide emissions. The production of a virtual car? 0.000000000000000. You name a number, 1. And that gap in emissions only gets greater when you start to talk about potentially using that car. I totally get that the idea of a virtual car sounds very odd and not at all comparable, but think about it. In the metaverse, we have teleportation. Both virtual cars and physical cars are just as useless as each other. You'd only drive one if you specifically fancied a drive, not actually to get anywhere in particular. And so, what I'm saying is that it's quite likely that the more users that join the metaverse, the more we shift towards purchasing digital goods and digital experience. And so, the fewer planes, trains, cars, ships, delivery vans we're going to use, and thus our impact on the planet might well nosedive. And the final kind of exciting thing is that the metaverse will also be a new economy. Meta is developing a store within it called Horizon Marketplace, which is not just them selling stuff to us, but a platform where anyone can be a seller. You could create virtual clothing. You could craft a new virtual experience and charge people to try it. You could design a completely new world. Anything. And you're no longer constrained by the physical materials you can get hold of. Only your imagination and your ability to code. And I've got no doubt that every forward-thinking brand will also make sure that they have a presence here. Because, I mean, if we're spending all our time in the metaverse, and that's where we're going to meet people and appear to others, then our virtual appearances and our virtual homes are actually going to start to matter more than our physical ones. The point is, in a new world, you will also have new opportunities to earn. And if you're wondering, well, how do we make sure people don't just buy one copy and then redistribute my creations? My best guess is that transactions will largely happen through cryptocurrencies. Essentially, the idea is that crypto is built with the ability to verify the authenticity of a virtual good. Or in other words, it already has the systems in place to be able to trace the ownership of them. So honestly, this whole metaverse thing has a pretty great sales pitch.